So before we close out, I want you to give a recommendation to our viewers. Before you start business, you should do this, right? What would be the one thing you would say before you go into business? You should do this. Because a lot of people say have a business plan, have financing, know your audience. What would you say? Because let me say, for me, I didn't have any of that. I just went and bought a laptop and said, I'm going into business. I can do this. I built the relationships. Let me just do it. And then I learned along the way. So what would be your thing?
Well, I have two.
Okay.
Actually. When I went into business, I didn't know the business aspect of my business. I could close my eyes and I could tell you exactly how much it's going to cost you to do a development project. What are the costs for the development? What are the associated fees with the development project? I could tell you the permits that you need. I could tell you whether this and that would work. I could do my work with my eyes closed. Who you're gonna see? What's the concurrency fee might be? I could do that with my eyes closed. But I didn't know how to run that business. So it took me, honestly, 3 years to learn the business of my business.
Of your business. Mm-hmm.
And it was a very steep and painful lesson to learn. Because you also do find people who take advantage of you. They know that you know, but they know that you don't know the business of your business because they can sense it.
Right.
And therefore they take advantage of that.
Right.
And to recover from that, because these are people that you trust. So to recover from that is like getting out of a very bad divorce.
It's a costly mistake.
It is a costly
mistake.
I don't know, so many times I've been like, oh my gosh, should I go back to work? Should I close? Should I do this? Should I do that? And you're like, oh. And then there's something that comes up and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm on the right path.
Right.
How do I avoid that mistake before? Again.
Right.
You know, how do I move forward?
Right.
So that was my mistake number one. I didn't know the business of my business. So if I were to do that again, I would learn the business of my business, do an SBA or MBA class or something.
Right. Okay.
And the other thing that I would do is work on my very first proposal while I still have a full-time job.
And you would take that approach. Why?
Because when you have children, and I find it to be easier, and I learned to actually deal with that one by myself. But when you are a single mom and you have children depending on that one income, when that income doesn't come, it's a problem. And you have staff that depends on that income. You have an office rent that depends on that.
And you hope to pay yourself.
And you hope to pay yourself. Because in fact, that income is what pays everything else.
Right.
So it's not just you that it pays, or it's not just this that it pays, but it pays yourself.
Right.
So sometimes when you generate, or that person says that, I'm going to give you 5%, or the minimum is 5%, but we aim to give more, and da-da-da. And then you said, okay, fine, you work out your numbers, and then you get 2%. And you realize that 2% doesn't even allow you to break even.
Right.
You can either and you have to find two things. Sometimes you're like, okay, well, I'm going to take it with stride. I'm going to gain the experience, and I'm going to find something else to cover for that other percentage. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way.
It does not. because sometimes you're waiting 6 months to a year to actually receive that 2%. So, which means the 2% value is now at -10.
Yes.
Because you've lost on the job.
Yes. And you've already lost when you accepted, you said, okay, I'm going to go for the experience to begin with. Because that was not
beneath my rate. Right.
That was not your initial step.
Right.
So when you think about it and you realize that there are children that are attached to this, aside from the fact that you have a staff who also have children that's attached to that cost, it makes it very stressful. So,
but doesn't that also make you very creative, bold, willing, unafraid, right? Because you're like, I'm at 0. I can only go to 25. Let me make this call to this firm that I've been trying to work with because I got to put it all on the table.
Yes.
And then when you win, you're like, I want to do that again.
Yes, it was all